All right. Hey, welcome back, fellow TFFL owners, to your weekly TFFL webcast. A very special edition here, Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. Hey, first off, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Hanukkah going on? Does anybody know exactly when Hanukkah is going on?
That's over.
Over?
Yes.
Over. Well, happy Hanukkah to those who've already celebrated it. Happy Christmas to those who've got that coming up. Happy holidays to all. We're also celebrating the end of our 2018 season coming up here, the Packed Bowl. We have both of our Packed Bowl owners on the webcast tonight. So we're looking back at Week 15 at the TFFL 2018 playoff semifinal games. We're looking ahead to the 2018 Packed Bowl, our 22nd Packed Bowl of the modern era.
Wow.
25th Packed Bowl all time. And hey, we have half the league, 6 people, 6 owners on the webcast. So this is going to be a fun one. Let me do the panel intros real quick. Terry, our commissioner, wrapping up your first year as commissioner.
Hello, everyone.
Managing director of the Steel City Mongols. Hank, czar and CEO of the K-Wheels, our IT director.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here. Jealous of the Pack Bowl players. That's what we all hope for. So congrats.
Good IT work tonight. Seamless.
Yeah. Seamless. We had a good night IT-wise tonight.
Berto from Jack Giant Killers. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. So that's our panel of losers. And then our 2 guests tonight, Michael Giovenco from the Hormel Hams.
Howdy.
Head Cheese.
Head Cheese, that's correct.
And the president pro tempore of the Senators, Kevin Marie Kramer. DMJ. On mute. You're on mute, Cranes.
All right, better?
Better.
Welcome. All right, so let's jump right into trivia and get this out of the way, and then we're going to start chatting. We're going to be talking Pack Bowl tonight. We're talking about 2 teams from the same division, the Senators and the Hams in the Pack Bowl. Among our 21 modern era seasons until now, how many of those ended with 2 teams from the same division playing each other in the Pack Bowl? How frequent is this?
So are we counting this one?
We're not counting this one.
So how many previous?
How many out of our previous 21 seasons?
Do we get any bonus points for naming those?
I'm going to give you guys all sorts of points. 3 points. 3 points for whoever gets closest to the correct answer, and that may be split among multiple of you.
Okay.
A bonus 2 points for guessing the exact amount of times it has happened. How many times in our 21-year history? And as Michael suggested, 5 more bonus points for each and every correct matchup and year. If you don't know, don't go guessing a million different combinations. You have to get the year and the matchup to get those 5 points. So there's lots of bonus points on the line here tonight. Start scribbling down your answers. All right, let's also jump to Terry, our commissioner's report, whatever you want to do.
I also have some clarifications on that.
Please.
Do we have to get the exact team name right?
I'll give you, if you get the franchise.
All right.
All right, Terry.
I did my homework.
Nice. No looking at the 2-year-old archives. But if you studied them beforehand, that's just fine. All right, Terry, you're wrapping up your first year as commissioner. One more big game ahead of us here. What do you have to say?
Yeah, great year. We're going to wrap it up with an exciting game. As we said, guys who played twice already, a rubber match for the Packed Bowl. And we basically have our draft order set, so I'll just run down on that real quick. The Beavers have the #1 overall pick. The Sponge Fishermen are #2. The Killers 3. The K-Wheels are 4th. The Aliens 5th. The Mongols 6th. Devils, Packers, Lizards, the Fats at 10. And then we'll see who the final 2 guys are. The Hams and the Sens.
I think it's going to be the Sens and the Hams.
In some order. Yeah.
I don't want to dwell on the 10 other teams for too long here, but I'll point out that's the draft order, but not necessarily the first round draft order. The Aliens don't have their first round pick. That's the AMPAC at number 5. Is anybody else missing their first round pick? I don't know if you've got that.
I don't have it in front of me. I believe someone else is.
The Senators are
off the top of my head. Yeah.
Senators have given up to the Giant Killers. That's right. Okay. All right. Let's jump right in here. Let's do a quick look back. The Lizards and Boba Fats out, made it to the semifinals this year. Let's talk about the Fats once more. They deserve it. Their streak, unbeaten streak, finally over. We've been talking about it week after week. Got up to we've mismanaged the math on
25, 24. What did we decide?
25.
25 unbeaten, one tie in there.
25.
An unbeaten regular season. Fitting, I said this on the chat, fitting that this monumental streak ends in a mere 1-point loss. And really, again, we'll talk a lot more about this, coming down to the final drive of the final game in that matchup.
No, my players scored 4 more points than his.
Yes, this is true. Three home field advantage points, which he earned.
Yes,
with a great regular season. So again, congratulations to the Fats, our 2017 champions. Great 2018 regular season, amazing streak. Let's do a quick look at what's ahead for the Fats. Pull up their roster if you can. Give me a quick gut reaction on what you think their outlook is. This is a team that did not need to trade away their number 1 pick this year, so I guess they will have a number 1 pick. But I can get to this in a moment. They do have a terrible recent history drafting in the first round, aside from getting Todd Gurley a few years back. Thoughts on this, on the 2019 Fats? Are they going to have anywhere near this kind of streak again?
They're so Rams dependent, right? I mean, you're looking at if the Rams continue to be the dominant kind of team that they were this year, you got to think that sure. I mean, Goff and Gurley at the top of the lineup is nice, but the other guy and Kelsey's a big piece too for him. And then but the other pieces are fairly interchangeable, and beyond those 3. So I put it on the Rams and the Chiefs. If they remain some of the best teams, continue to score, they'll be right back.
Yeah, I think they look fine next year. I mean, Goff's had a couple of bad games, but Gurley, Goff, you can Cohen may be a keeper. If AJ Green has some left in the tank, yeah, I don't think. I mean, you could see a drop off from an unbeaten season, but they'll be in the mix.
Yeah, they won't be as good, but they're not old. I mean, they're still, they don't. Even AJ Green's only 30. So I mean, this isn't an old team. They're going to be fine. So yeah, they're not. They're not a 25 winning 25 in a row type of team, but they're going to be good. So I don't see any drop off. I mean, other than the record that you can't sustain that, but they're going to be a good team.
Yeah, I think you also have to look. He's going to be getting back Marshawn Lynch next year, so.
Over under on number of games Marshawn Lynch played.
I was going to say carries. Under 20 carries.
Dude.
Nah, he'll be in the picture next year, but yes. So
yeah, I think he's returning pretty much the same team. I mean, it's been the same guys. They'll all be back, so I don't see any reason that he's not back. But he got lucky this year again with the games. I don't think this wasn't necessarily a dominant 12-0-1 team.
Yeah, that's true. He really jumped out of the gates and put up a lot of points early, and the Rams were really playing well. But the second half of the season, he had a little bit of luck to get to that 12-0-1 record.
I don't mean to disrespect the Fats at all. We've been poking at them all year, and it's not because we think they're a bad team. But I think the concern that I've got with them, if you go and try to map out 7 keepers for them, I think you might get down to that 7th spot and wonder who that really is going to be. Is it going to be somebody like Cooper Kupp? Trying to remember who else I had slotted in there. You know, Terry raised questions. Is Tariq Cohen a keeper? Yeah, he probably is. He's a nice contributor. I don't think he's a stud there. And then you look at it there's not a lot of guys beyond 7 players that I think are keeper worthy. And I guess my concern is all these guys were very healthy this year. AJ Green got injured down the stretch, and yeah, he's 30 years old now, and that could happen more frequently. But Kelsey was healthy, Gurley was healthy, Goff was healthy, Tariq Cohen was healthy, and I'm not sure that's something you can necessarily sustain from year to year. If he loses any of these guys, there's not a lot of great depth on this team. His last 2 first-round picks, I think, are worth citing. Ty Montgomery this year and Jeremy Maclin the year before. Worthless veteran players. So there's not a ton of young talent beyond his core right now. They're going to probably get him back into the playoffs next year, but Rob at some point has got to start adding some new talent here. All right, let's talk real quick about the Lizards. This would have, if they had won, if they had made the Pac Bowl, I believe this would have been their 4th title game appearance in 5 years.
Yeah.
So, the Giant Killers dynasty deserves all the credit we've given them over the years. We sort of shifted to the dynasty that wasn't in the Amsterdam Packers these past couple of years and might have overlooked.
That's fun to say, isn't it?
Yeah. And throughout that, we probably overlooked to some degree a Lizards franchise that might have deserved to some degree to be called a dynasty. 3 Pac Bowl appearances, as it turned out, 1 Pac Bowl title, semifinals this year. Incredible wide receiving core that will always help us remember this franchise. 2 big questions going forward for you guys about the Lizards. Is their 2019 quarterback, their week 1 quarterback, on the roster right now? And is Kareem Hunt a keeper for this franchise?
So I think their quarterback is not. I think they'll come up with 7 other guys, and 4 of them being receivers. Kareem Hunt, it's too early to tell. Who knows what's going to happen? And I think that's going to play itself all the way out to August. So if it's a shorter 6 or 8 game or whatever suspension versus, excuse me, he's out. You can't keep him if it's longer than that. If he's suspended a year or whatever, but if it's a 6 game or whatever, yeah, then he's gotta be a keeper. So too early on that one.
Yeah, I'd go with I'm with Berto, no and no. But I think his issues have been running back, and I think it's going to be running back again.
Who would you rather have?
What's that?
Kareem Hunt or Darius Geist?
Geist.
Yeah, I think Geist, but you got to know. I mean, Hunt is a tough gamble. I mean, if you think it depends so much, and the league is coming down on this kind of crap. I mean, I think he could be in trouble in terms of next year playing time, and running backs who sit out a year are not a great record.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't get a full season. So if I had to answer that question now, I would say no. Hunt's not a keeper, and his quarterback's not on the roster either.
Okay.
I don't want to wade into the domestic violence issue right now. We've asked this question before. It doesn't sound like that's a factor in anyone's thought process here. We have two Kramers.
Hold on. You got one now?
Well, I think it's the before and after this weekend.
There you go. Anyway, so let's talk. Let's get to the game we all want to talk about. The recap here of the Senators and the Boba Fats. 72-71, 1-point victory for the Senators. Came down to Alvin Kamara, last drive of the game for the Saints, crossing over 100 yards, getting the 2 bonus points, going from 1 point down to 1 point up for the Senators. Kramer, talk us through how you were watching the game, how you were feeling, how optimistic or pessimistic you were as that game went on.
I was not optimistic going into the game. I thought it's funny, both Rob and I thought 10 points was the spread. If he was 10 or more, that he was going to win, and if it was under 10, that I had a better shot. And it was right at 10. I had put together my keys for victory earlier in the week, and my 3 keys were Kelsey had to be outscored by Butker on Thursday night. He was out. Butker had 4. And what else? That Goff and Gurley had to have under 30 points combined. They did. I think 26, maybe. And that his kicker or D couldn't do anything stupid, like 18 from his kicker or 12 from his defense. Well, he got 19 from his kicker.
Yeah.
Yep.
And D.D. Westbrook got 10 as a punt return. So I was not optimistic going into this. Until Kamara scored, even after he scored, I was not optimistic at all. I really wasn't. I mean, until the last minute, until there were zeros on the board, I thought this game's going overtime. Curtis Samuel's going to catch a garbage 18-yard catch, put him at 41 yards or something like that. I'm going to lose by a point. I was never confident in the win. Even after the game was over, I thought maybe Kamara could lose a yard when the NFL looks at the stats. But that it's Wednesday, right? Midnight Wednesday, so there's still 2.25 hours left.
You're in the clear.
I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're in.
So, I'm happy to be in the Pac Bowl, but there's work to be done here this weekend.
That was a fun experience to be texting with Kramer as that was all happening. Just the raw excitement, and you could tell how nervous he was, and it was close, man. That was good fantasy football drama with each yard mattering so much. And
there was a play where Kamara gained about 20 yards.
Yep.
And there was a block in the back, or it erased 15 of those yards. It took 15 yards off of my total, and I thought that's it's just not going to happen. Just not going to work out. And it wasn't until the very bitter end that he had over 100, and it wasn't going to be a tie, because it was going to be I was going to get 2 points for the 100, or not. It wasn't going to be a tie. So
I think it makes the ranking of one of the best TFL games ever, right, Stick? That'll be in the archive somewhere.
Yeah, that was a great game. We've had a few of those this year, actually, including one I remember winning, but that came down to the final drive, final game. This obviously a playoff game to send you to the Pac Bowl, one of our greatest outcomes.
That'll be the 2019 archives that are coming out, right, Stick?
Sure. You want to write up that game recap?
Okay.
Well, I don't think CBS had that on the top 3 though.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Whatever. So hey, Kramer, congratulations! Big win.
Thank you.
And before we move on and talk about the Hams, it's worth. I just looking back at the Senators, I think the overhaul that you did in the preseason of 2017
last
year. I mean, stunningly successful, Kramer. Probably very underrated. Let me see if I can go through this real quick. Alvin Kamara, 3rd round pick last year. Joe Mixon, who had a huge game.
Yes, he did.
In week 15. And kind of a little bit of a maligned number 2 overall draft pick for you in 2017. Stepping up as a stud now. DeAndre Hopkins, you traded for him right before the start of the 2017 season.
With the Hams.
A bargain price, frankly, of a 1st round pick for not just a good veteran receiver, a stud, difference-making receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster, was he a draft pick or a free agent last year?
Free agent pick.
T.Y. Hilton, you traded for him right before the start of the 27. I mean, that 5 big, again, not just starters and good players, but difference-making guys, young studs, all acquired in a matter of a month. And changed your franchise. Great job, Kramer.
Thank you. Don't be afraid to trade.
All right, so good luck to the Senators. Let's now shift and talk a little bit about Hams. There's not much to talk about in terms of Hams Lizards. That game was I don't want to say over right away because it wasn't, but it was not a close game in the end. 40-point margin or so. But the thing I wanted to bring up, I said I would bring this up on the chat. Damian Williams was a key piece in this, that even though Mahomes didn't have a stud game to start the week on Thursday night, Damian Williams with, I think, 19 points really made the Hams comfortable coming out of that game. And there was no one player who made the difference in a margin this big, but Williams was a big part of that. Michael, just walk me through that. I mean, that was a great pickup and a bold guy to start. When did you sign him exactly?
I think it was week 13 when Hunt was cut.
Okay.
Yeah. Week 13. I went back and looked. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of obvious. You pick up a backup guy. I heard a lot of good things about Williams in training camp, and that's the reason that they let go of West. So there, I don't know. There was some talk out there that since Kansas City was bringing back West, that West was going to be the number 2, but I didn't buy that. I think one of the things I did this year in a lot of the trades, I tried to get free agent picks back, and that was huge. I had 4 free agent picks in week 13, so I took a flyer on Williams in week 13. Why not? It's the Kansas City Chiefs, so you might as well own something. I figured that Ware wouldn't be, he'd share some of the carries, so Williams would at least get some time to showcase his talent. And he's a big back. He's pretty powerful, and he's a great pass catcher. He's a guy who runs under 4.5 40, so. He's definitely got some talent, and I was a little bit nervous on Thursday night putting him in. I consulted some people, on the webcast, and they confirmed that sort of my call to put Williams in there. Coleman's been disappointing. Michelle was having a pretty tough matchup against Pittsburgh, so. Yeah, I don't know. It's a roll of the dice, and it made sense with Ware out. Big game for the Chiefs, and I was a little bit nervous that it was a Thursday night game, and Thursday night games have been pretty difficult this year to kind of call. But I figured, that was the game that put some assets in. I was thinking about starting Mike Williams, but I didn't want too much in that game. But I kind of think if you think it's going to be a high scoring game, you want to start the guys that are in those high over under games and start as many as you can if it makes sense and you're not benching a stud player. So yeah.
But hey,
we want this week with Sony Michel, and you did for that exact thing. Are you going to plan on starting Williams this week again?
Yeah, let's be clear. You talk about benching stud player. I mean, I don't know if Sony Michel's a stud yet, or Tevin Coleman's a stud. But those, as you said, those are the two guys you bench. Those are good running backs who are getting carries. And yes, at the moment he's got Williams in there for the Pac Bowl over those guys.
Yeah, we'll see what actually ends up being the lineup that I put in.
A lot of indecision. A lot of
options. A lot of options, and it's good to have options this time of year. So,
true.
A lot of thinking. There's a good chance that David Johnson's on the bench. So, kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But you roll the dice on the guys. I think again with Williams this week, you have to watch Spencer Ware and see if he's going to play. But that's the second. It's predicted to be the second highest over under game. I also don't mind having guys going Sunday night. So having 5 guys on Sunday night, it puts a lot of pressure on the Sens.
How many points do the Senators need to be up going into Sunday night? I think it's at least 50.
I was thinking 40. I looked at that earlier. My number was 40 because you have Butker, right?
Yeah,
I do have Butker.
So I said 40.
All right, so everybody pull up the Ham Senators matchup. Let's do our preview right here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, just to go back to Michael's.
Sure.
That was a great pickup. And when Michael texted me about him, talking about who he's going to start, I was like, damn, you have him? That was a great pickup. I didn't even realize that. And I was like, yeah, you should start him. But just that turn from Ware to Damian Williams was huge. And the other thing, if Michael did start Mike Williams and Vinatieri, he would have had one of the highest scores of all time. He would have been in the 120s, I think, like 122 or something like that. So hell of a week for the Hams.
Yeah, it didn't really matter, but what was the outcome of your kicker decision, Michael? For all the credit we're giving you for
that was a -11.
0, I believe.
0 to 11 for Vinatieri.
Playing each other in the same game. Yeah. The same NFL game.
Right.
And hey, as long as Berto gave us this opening back in to talk about the Hams before we get to the game preview, for all the credit we just gave Kramer for what he did. We've obviously acknowledged a great free agent signing here in Damian Williams, but once again, let's acknowledge one of the more brilliant maneuvers that we can remember in recent years: the Patrick Mahomes move, the Drew Brees trade. Brilliant and bold, and obviously a big factor in the Hams season, having Mahomes at the top of the lineup. Nice job, Michael.
Yeah,
the early season game where I beat the Hams was the last game that Drew Brees was on the Hams.
So that was also a game Mahomes had 300 yards and 6 touchdowns against.
Yes,
it took one game.
47 something points.
So Kramer, why don't you tell us the outcome? You guys have obviously met twice this season. What are the outcomes of those 2 games?
I won the first one early in the year. The second one was not too close. I don't remember the scores, but yeah, certainly if Mahomes was in the first game, I would have had my doors blown off.
Second game, who won?
Hams.
Okay, so this is the rubber match then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
That was week 13, wasn't it? That last meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was for the division and a bye and the conference.
And the conference.
Mm-hmm. And $500.
Yeah.
Nice win, Michael. Nice win.
Bigger one coming up here, though.
So we've all been singing Crane's and Michael's GM prowess this year. So it's, they were the front runners for GM of the year. We're not giving out that award tonight, but it feels like whoever wins the Pac Bowl also is going to get the GM of the year award because they've both done such an awesome job, which you outlined, Stick. So,
and in terms of our forecasting abilities, we were talking about the Hams Senators division battle and how it would be a season-long battle. I think very early on this year, and this is going to be a great pack. But yeah, you guys, this has been coming. You guys have been battling all season long, very close, setting up that Week 13 division and conference key matchup, and now an even more critical one.
Great trades, great draft picks, picking the right players to put in, and that's why they're here.
Speaking of personnel moves, the Senators still have a free agent pick.
Yes, they do. One.
Which
are you going to pull the trigger on Foles?
Yeah, I think it's a Foles magic for the Pac Bowl.
All right, so pull up the matchup and let's talk about it. I'll throw one question out there to start. Michael Giovenco, how concerned are you about Julio Jones maybe not playing?
I think this is kind of typical. I'll put it to our resident expert Phil Hawken to tell me how concerned I should be, but I don't know. My take on Julio is this is kind of typical. Sounds the language coming from Quinn is that he's going to go, and I expect him to play. If he's not playing, then Williams is in there.
Julio Jones seems like one of those guys who sits often on Wednesdays, so I wouldn't be concerned.
I think there's something in the contract of the players' the collective bargaining agreement that he has to be officially designated with some sort of injury in order to miss practice. But he never practices Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And sometimes doesn't practice Thursdays. The only time you get concerned is when he's not practicing on Friday.
On Friday.
Yep.
And if he's not practicing Friday, then there's a flag to be raised. But until then, this is nothing.
Although I'm just looking at my I'm just looking at the matchup. So Williams goes Saturday night. So I don't know. We'll see on Friday. So Friday, if it's looking he's looking really actually questionable, then I probably put Williams in on Saturday night, and then I'll leave it to be Lockett / Julio. So that could change some things, but I love to have him in there. If he's not in there, then it's Williams and Lockett, and I feel okay with that.
Don't worry about Julio yet, Michael. Really, don't sweat it.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on him. I think this is different than his usual rest day, but we'll see. Hey, Kramer, we've talked about you having Gronk in and out of your lineup. He's in your lineup right now. Where do you stand on that? How firm are you in Gronk? Yeah.
Same boat that Michael's in. I've got Gus Edwards, who would be the guy that I put into that spot, and Gus plays on Saturday night. He's been a nice pickup for me late in the year. He's getting 20 carries a game ever since Lamar Jackson took over there. This guy's getting the rock. But away at the Chargers is a tough matchup. I would like to keep Gronk, and I'm leaning Gronk at this time, but that's not 100%.
Is this at all a case of Ralph starting Josh Gordon in last year's Pac Bowl to sort of justify his investment in him? Do you feel compelled to start Gronk because you traded for him?
No, I do not.
I think Gronk is playing against Buffalo, and
yes,
the Patriots typically own Buffalo, so I think that Gronkowski should be in the game.
And like Hank texted me this week, Brady's got an FU game in him, and no better team to give it to than the Bills in Foxborough after the Patriots and Brady was not good last week. Only scored 9 points. So I looked at Trubisky as a possible play there, but I'm not going to.
So-
I can't. If I sit Brady, he's going to go for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards.
So Brady had 0 touchdowns against the Bills in Week 8.
Yes, he did. He did.
But he did have 45 attempts, 324 yards.
Yep. Gronk had a terrible game that week too.
So, but I think the big thing is, yeah, I mean they're at home. I think that's going to be he's due.
We've been hearing an awful lot about the demise of the Belichick-Brady partnership, and this is right about the time that they tell people to shut the fuck up, and they're still, who they are. And let's see. I mean, eventually one year they're going to fail. But if I'm Kramer, I'm dancing with the girl I brought.
Yeah, I think you have to go with Brady. I mean,
well, I'm not taking any advice from you.
As he says that with a smirk.
you shouldn't.
All right, hey panelists,
You should start Trubisky.
So we nailed both of the semifinal games. As a panel, we were unanimous in picking the Hamptons. Give me a pick in the Pac-12 title game. It's a tough call. Give me a pick.
All right.
So wait. Are we done with the lineup discussion?
Tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, the obvious one is like, who do you start for the Hams running back?
Well, we've already sort of talked about that one, but go on.
Well, no, I want to hear the panel's opinion.
I think you gotta look at Sony Michel as somebody to potentially plug in there. I mean, I don't know. It could be for any one of the three. I mean, David Johnson against the Rams is not an appetizing matchup, but it's David Johnson. I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable benching him. Chris Carson on Monday night against Kansas City. That could be a tough game. He should probably, he should be good. I mean, then there's Williams. We just talked about how you like him. If you like him, go with him.
To me, it's who you got in there right now. So Williams, Johnson, Carson. So I don't see you. I don't see you coming off that. And Carolina played. Well, they gave up some yardage against the Saints, but I think you go with the guys you got in here. I mean. The only watch out, is if Ware is going to play, that may give you pause on Williams. But other than that, I think I like the guys who you have in right now.
All right.
And I love that matchup for Carson against Kansas City's run D.
Yeah. What do you think about that one?
I see a lot of punts in that game. Field goals and punts.
Michael, I wouldn't fault you for any choice you make here. These are 5 good options. The one that jumped out at me when I looked at your bench was Tevin Coleman because obviously Devontae Freeman is done. Ito Smith is now done. Coleman has been playing well. As we talked about, he doesn't get a ton of carries. Atlanta doesn't seem to know how to feed him the ball, but he's been getting yardage and scoring touchdowns.
He did score last week, but before that, he hadn't scored since week 7.
He had 1 touchdown the week before.
Okay, yeah, I thought, and I think you make a good point looking at Carolina's defense and what it has done recently. The potential there is there for Coleman to have a big game, but again, you've got 5 good running backs. I don't think you're going to make a wrong decision here.
Yeah. I guess I go on Chiefs thinking when we do our Party Bowl lineup, and that's if you have kind of even ratings on guys, then play the guy who's playing in a meaningful game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that would there is some thinking for me to put in Michelle over Johnson. I hate that Johnson Arizona LA Rams matchup. So that's probably the one I'm struggling with. if you see a change in the lineup, it might be Michelle in for Johnson.
You got to look at your secret football service.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody loves Johnson, so yeah.
He's at least at home in that game.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Rams D has been a little bit of a paper tiger this year, but the Arizona offense is really bad.
It's awful.
So.
It's awful.
Yeah. All right, give me a pick, guys. And again, this is a tough one. I'm not sure who I'm going to pick when it comes to me.
Well, when we had the webcast before the first weekend of the playoffs, I went with the Hams, and I've seen nothing since then to change my mind. So I'm going to go with the Hams in a close one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hams. 79-79, and it goes to the reserve lineups.
Who's your reserve quarterback? Rivers. Okay.
Rivers.
Okay. Yeah, you've got probably a stronger reserve lineup. Okay.
Hank, who do you got?
I got the Hams. And they're two pieces of the K-wheels that they carry with them. And I hope Julio gets a ring. And
how about the DC Caravan?
That's right, DC Caravan. Yes, we've been talking about this for many years now as we drive to Myrtle Beach every year that we never win. And so hopefully Michael can end that streak and bring one home for us. But yeah, Kramer, I think it comes down to Brady. I think it comes down to if Brady and Gronk have a big day, that's you're in it. But I think the Hams are going to win 80-72.
Stickler.
The other factor here that I don't think we've talked about is the Pittsburgh receiver battle. Antonio Brown for the Hams, Juju Smith-Schuster for the Senators.
It was a Brown game last week. It's a Juju game this week.
Yep.
Marginally.
I'll tell you who my pick is here in a second. I'm not rooting for anybody. This is a great game. Again, I think both of you guys would be commended for the way you've built these teams. Again, I've been picking the Hams every time we answer this question for 8 weeks now. I'm going to stick with the Hams. I'm a little concerned about Brady and Gronk against Buffalo, believe it or not. They didn't, score a lot of touchdowns earlier this season. Mahomes, again, at the top of the lineup is I think, sometimes too much to overcome. So I'm going with the Hams here. This is going to be high scoring. I'm going to call this one 90 to 85.
Good game.
Yeah.
And just to echo what Stick said, no rooting interest in this one. I was definitely rooting against the Sens for a better draft pick last game, but I wish both teams well.
You still get a better draft pick here.
You would.
Not much difference now.
Hank is right. I would like to see a member of the DC Caravan bring home the title this year. But
well, the Senators will bust out the dog masks. We're all we got. We're all we need.
Hey, I'm so jealous of both you guys, and I wish you both the best of luck. I mean, Kramer, I know it's been a long time since you've had a chance to win it. Michael, it's been several years now, I think, since you won it, like middle of the last decade.
2012.
There you go. All right, so it's been a few years. So congrats to you both, and good luck, and enjoy the week.
Well, Brad Johnson, Deuce McAllister, Tim Brown, they're all stopping by the 1999 Pac Bowl champion.
Hey,
Jerome Bettis.
Let's see a nail biter.
Yeah.
It's not 79-79. Let's see a good game.
So you're not gonna ask for our predictions?
Go ahead. I know what your predictions are, but I'm curious to hear your scores. Sure.
Yeah, well, I think the SoCo West is gonna win it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, the SoCo West is going to win.
Hey,
which is awesome. Which is awesome. Go SoCo.
A couple of quirks with the weekend is that there are no more Thursday night games.
Right.
So no Thursday action, and nobody has a Monday night player.
right.
So this is all about Sunday night.
Yep.
How many points can I be up, at 7 o'clock Sunday night before we get into that 8:15 kickoff. And I will be in Philadelphia for the Texans-Eagles game this weekend. I'll be giving DeAndre Hopkins a pep talk before the game. I think he could torch the Eagles secondary. I see a couple of touchdowns and 160 yards out of him.
Are you going to be at that game?
I will be at the game. Yes.
So when DeAndre Hopkins is scoring those 3 touchdowns, are you going to be cheering out loud?
No, I will not be cheering out loud.
There will be a very leader cheer.
Yeah, I'll take a Eagles up by 44-0 and a couple of garbage TDs at the end. I'll take that.
Well, it'll just mean that Foles needs more points.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Michael Giovenco, a special thank you for joining us tonight. I know you were reluctant to join us, perhaps upsetting the winning streak that you've had since last being on the webcast.
I think they roll.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Tubesters always roll.
Yeah, we always roll.
I think I'll be rolling after this. So.
Sure.
So some platinum Girl Scout cookies, maybe.
Second that.
And I believe this is your second straight year of going on a nice big streak after being on the webcast.
I think the only nice streak I had last year was losing.
No, it was the year before. Yeah, last year was not so kind to you.
Unless I started like the preseason, because I had a nice 4-game winning streak to start off the season and a 9-game losing streak.
No, I think it must have been the year before. The webcast has treated you
yes,
well.
It has.
All right, hey, let me. Any other comments on our Pac Bowl game? I don't want to cut it short.
I guess I'll just reiterate a little bit. I think there's two big games to watch, and it's the Saints and Steelers, and it's Kansas City and Seattle.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun. I think I'm hoping for a close game and hoping for a fun Sunday night texting back and forth. And either way, again, it comes back to the SoCo West. So number 3, we still have a little catching up to do, even if we get our third one. So here's to many more.
All right, good luck to you.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
All right, let me give you a TFFL trivia answer. Lots of points on the line. Looking for the number of times that 2 division foes have met in the Pac Bowl in our 21-year modern era history. The correct answer is 3.
Oh,
yes.
How many people got 3?
This is the 3rd time.
This will be the 4th.
Oh, I only got 2.
I only have 2.
I have 2.
I didn't have any paper near me, so I didn't.
You guys read that?
I have Wheels Killers 2013, Devils Beavers 2008.
Me too, exactly.
Let me see if I can find them for you. The first one was 1999.
Wow.
Sense.
Go.
Senators defeating the Fever.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
That's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Did you get that right, Michael?
Yeah.
Michael, you got that?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Okay, 2008, Dirt Devils 53, Slippery Beavers 50.
Yeah, got that one.
53-50. Wow.
A low-scoring one.
Yeah.
And the third and most recent, 2013, greatest game of all time, Giant Killers 80, K-Wheels 79.
Still haunts
There
me.
you go.
Wow.
So I had two of the games right, but one of the years wrong.
All right, so getting each. Oh, you didn't get the year.
Yeah, I got 1999 Sens and Fever.
Okay.
I had the Giants Killers beating the K Wheels, but I had 2015.
2013.
Yeah, I was off, and then I had 2002. I had Fats beating the Aliens, which was wrong.
All right. So Hank, why don't you everybody score yourself and tell Hank what you got?
Yeah, tell me,
So what are we getting for points for each one?
read the points being awarded for each correct.
3 points for whoever got closest to 3 as the correct answer.
All right, so
Kramer.
That's
who got
me.
Michael.
I got 3.
Oh, Michael got 3, right?
Okay, so Michael gets 3 for that.
Michael gets 3. Okay.
Michael gets a bonus 2 points for actually nailing the exact number.
Okay.
And Michael is going to get 5 points for nailing one of the matchups correctly.
Okay. All right. Now, Berto, how many points do you get?
I got 10. So I got 2 matchups
Nice.
in the year, but I did not. I had 2, but I only had 2 games.
I get the same as Berto. I have the 2 matchups. I thought this was the 3rd time. So Wheels Killers 13, and so I guessed 2008, but that's right, Devils Beeve.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Good work.
I got 1 matchup, but no year.
All right, and so Terry, how many you got? 5.
5.
All right.
Do I get partial points for getting the teams right but the year wrong?
Stick.
We seem to be fairly generous here. So yeah, let's
We'll give him 3.
Michael's going to score well tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so plus 3, and then Kramer, how'd you do?
I had 24 points.
Kramer's going to come in with the big 0. All right, excellent. All right, well,
You didn't even get your own game right?
I didn't get his game right.
You missed 99, the one that you won?
I would not have remembered I beat the Fever.
I think you guys were roommates back then, weren't you?
Yeah, 99. Yes. Yeah. 99. No, that was when I had that Capitol Hill apartment.
Nah.
So I'll remember this year though.
All right, so sorry, read it again. So Michael gets 13 points.
Sure.
Berto gets 10 points.
By the way, this is the point of the webcast when I'm watching and listening at work when I shut it off.
All right, good.
That's good feedback.
We did the first 55 minutes for you and the last 5 for us.
And not unpredictable feedback.
And it shows, Kramer, because you know how many points you scored today?
Right. No one cares. No one cares about this.
0.
Oh, we care. We care.
I care.
You're on the scoreboard now, Kramer. You're on the scoreboard. You know where you are?
Yes, put me in the-
TFFL. DFL. That's you. Last.
All
And you wonder why people don't cheer for you in the Pac Bowl.
right. Hey,
You're not very likable.
who needs you? Who needs you?
All right. Are you going to rattle off scores or did I miss that?
No, we're not going to collect them anymore. But this week we have Michael with 13, Berto with 10, Hank with 10, TR with 5. And who's last? Oh, yeah. The Senator is last.
That's
Well,
fine.
the Senator is really combined with Michael Giovanco as guest. So
That's right.
Fine.
yeah, a great week.
Kramer contributes nothing.
Yeah. That's gonna be similar to this weekend's game.
Yeah, enjoy your rotisserie cash bowl playoffs. How many points do you have in that? Yeah. Would you have 32 this week?
Yeah, the Cash Bowl. The Cash
Bowl's not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No.
I forgot about this.
There's another thing I don't need is cash bowl scoring updates.
All right. Speaking of things we don't need, let me wrap up here
Should we
with
do a TFBA update now for Cranes or no?
Cranes probably cares about the TFBA just as much as he cares about the trip.
He's a co-owner, isn't he?
Any trades?
His
Any
name's on the
basketball trades?
website.
Hey, we can make football trades come Monday.
Yeah.
You need to focus. You need focus in the Sens locker room. You got to be thinking about this weekend, not trading.
I would like to say that there was a condition that was hit this past week with Chris Carson going over 1,000 yards. So we'll now have the Hams' second-round pick next year instead of the third-round pick.
Wow. Very nice.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Let's see him get to 8 touchdowns this week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do I get your first then?
No, I don't think so.
No, I have his first. You can't have it.
Okay. Wow, Hams don't have a first or second. Is that right?
No, I have the Mongols second.
Oh,
Drew Brees.
okay.
All right, so hey, it's Christmas week. I have to bring up one relevant topic. I have received at the office a couple gifts. A lovely bottle of mead that somebody makes. He's a beekeeper. This is actually made from his the honey from his bees.
Okay.
And
you might get locked in the cellar for that.
Is that autumnal?
And I've got a Commonwealth Brewing Company Clockwork Imperial Chocolate Orange Coffee Milk Stout.
Wow.
What?
4-pack.
That might also get you in the dungeon too. Or
Let me read that off again.
Arcades.
Descriptors.
Clockwork Imperial Chocolate Orange Coffee Milk Stout.
Interesting.
When do we get to the point where people are giving me a 6-pack of joints?
In Jersey, soon.
At some point, we'll get there, folks.
Well, next time we do an order, I'll get you a 6-pack.
There you go. Okay, so hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. We're not going to
Merry Christmas.
see you guys before the holiday.
No recap, no Pack Bowl webcast.
Well, I hope we'll do a recap. I don't know if we'll be available on the 26th, which would be next Wednesday, our normal night. But hopefully some point next week we will do a recap. But it won't be before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there.
You and yours.
All right.
Yep. And yeah, next time we meet, we will be celebrating our Pack Bowl champion, one of these two fine owners here. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Good luck, gents.
All right. Good luck, fellas.
Good luck to you both.
Great game. I think what's exciting about this for all of us is we know, in theory, it should come down to that Sunday night game. We can all be there watching it and chatting together. So we'll look forward to that. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here next week to talk about it.
Very good.
All right.
See you then.
All right, guys.
Good luck, boys.